Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the most underrated and underappreciated rappers out right now. Also, I want to note that this is completely opinionated. So if you don't agree with something that I say, that's completely fine. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Anyways, enough of me talking. Let's just get right into the video. Okay, so before we jump into the video and the top 5, I actually have a couple honorable mentions that I would like to briefly discuss. The reason why these guys are honorable mention is because most of them are mainstream. So being mainstream, there's really only a certain level of underrated you can really be. In our first honorable mention, we have Lil Tecca. Now, Lil Tecca, I feel like he's kind of on the cusp of underrated and not at the same time, because I feel like he has very good albums, but at the same time everybody is always talking about how he's going to come save summer, all that. So it isn't like he doesn't get appreciation. I just feel like he has a couple songs and a couple albums that I just don't think get enough attention that they really should, especially the transitions between every single one of his songs on his albums. I think that they're done really well, and I don't really ever hear anybody talk about him. So that's a big reason why I think he's a little underappreciated. But he definitely does. I mean, he has 29 million monthly listeners, so he definitely does get some kind of good publicity. It's not like he doesn't. We're not going to sit here and act like he doesn't. I just think that he's a little underappreciated, but that's again why he's in the honorable mention. Our next honorable mention is Gunna. I personally really like Gunna. I have him in my top 5 as far as my favorite rappers right now. And I've definitely been getting into a lot more of his less popular music recently, which is why I have him on the underrated list. I feel like whenever you hear people talk about the greatest rappers of right now, you never really hear Gunna mentioned, or at least I don't. And I feel like he has such a deep catalog and such good songs, and then not to mention the fact that he is featured on so many good songs. Like, here's an example: Drip Too Hard, he's on Lemonade, a bunch of songs like that that everybody knows, but you don't really hear people are like, oh yeah, that's Gunna's on that song. You don't really hear that. It's just kind of like everybody knows the song, but you don't really ever hear anybody appreciate or talk about Gunna. Now, again, with that being said, he does have 32 million monthly listeners, which is insane. So he definitely does have the publicity. It's just the fact that I think he's a little underappreciated because he definitely has some really good albums, such as, you know, One of One's good. Wanna is amazing. That's his best album for sure. Drip or Drown 2, Drip Harder. It's a bunch of like, and this is all music that is, another thing I want to note is I think his flow is amazing. He has such a nice, calm, smooth flow, and it's really nice, especially like when you're driving at night or something and you just want to chill and listen to like more chill rap. He definitely fits that vibe, but he also has some upbeat songs, which, you know, really ties it all together. But again, I think he's just a little underrated. Now, our next honorable mention is a little bit different, and the reason why I have him in honorable mention is, again, a little bit different from the others, and that is Sofego. Now, the reason why I don't have Sofego in the top 5 is because he hasn't dropped any songs or any kind of music recently. If he consistently dropped music, he would be in the top 5. He has such iconic songs, and he was really big during like the 2020, 2021 TikTok era, and I think that's what most people know him for. But other than that, he has some really good songs. Every Day and Off the Map are two that are, I guess, really popular, but I still think they're a little bit underrated for him. Looks like he actually might have just dropped something, a single. Okay, wow. But yeah, his After Me album is amazing. Angelic 7, really good. Pink Hearts as well. He has some good songs with Uzi. Another one that I really love, and it's probably my favorite song from him, is Up Off 1942. I think that's a really good song. But again, if he dropped a little bit more, I'd definitely put him in my top 5 for underrated. But he only has 1 million, just under 2 million monthly listeners, which is solid, but you know, it could be a lot more, and I think it should be a lot more for the type of artist that he is. After this, I promise I'm done with the honorable mentions, but our last honorable mention is Rich Amiri. Now, Rich Amiri is a different type of artist, because I think a lot of people that don't really listen to him know him for obviously One Call. You know, it was huge on TikTok, that type of deal. So I think most people think that he's kind of like a TikTok artist, but he actually has some really good songs songs. I listened to his whole War Ready album and I thought it was really, really good. You know, he has a lot of good singles. His Ghetto Fabulous album was pretty good as well. I listened to a couple songs off of that. But again, I think he's a little underrated. I mean, 4 million monthly listeners isn't bad at all, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think that people appreciate him enough as an artist and more of just like a TikTok artist. Kicking off our top 5, we finally got there. Coming in at our number 5 spot, we have SSG Kobe. Now, anybody that knows SSG Kobe, I think you have some seriously good ball knowledge. I first found him, and this is, I hate to say it, but I first found him through like the Fortnite montage era where you had like people that were using these kind of songs for Fortnite montages. Like for example, MIA, amazing song. Really, really good. I would recommend checking it out if you haven't. Sound Design is another really good song. But I think overall, and he's been consistently dropping. He has a lot of good songs. Obviously, he just doesn't get recognition at all. But I really think he deserves it. He is a very good artist. He's got just under 500,000 monthly listeners. And I'm honestly surprised because I thought it would have been more. I gotta be honest. I knew he was like underground and not as popular, but I didn't know he was that low. So I mean that's kind of sad to see because I think he's a really good artist. But again, if you guys haven't seen him or haven't heard his music, I would highly recommend checking it out. MIA is a great start. Sound Design's good as too. It keeps getting taken off Spotify for some reason, like it was in my playlist and now it's not. And now, obviously, it looks like it's back. But, yeah, I would check him out. Coming in at our next spot, this is kind of different because he has more monthly listeners than Rich Amiri. This would be Lucky. I just recently found Lucky. Shout out to Paddock on TikTok. If anybody knows who that dude is, he's a goat. He put me on to Lucky, not personally, but I saw him in one of his videos and I checked it out. And dude, this guy's amazing. He has some crazy beats that he raps on, as well as he has such a nice melodic vibe that, again, kind of similar to Gunna, a little bit different as far as like a nice, smooth, simple flow. Yeah, he has some really good songs. My personal favorite, and I think this is one of his most popular songs, is RIP. Amazing song, dude. One of the best beats I've ever heard. And as far as like slow rap goes, I would even go as far to say that this is one of the greatest slow rap songs I've ever heard, and I will die on that hill. Amazing song, amazing song. I've been trying to go through all of his albums recently and, you know, listen to a couple songs. I've been trying to get a little bit more into it. I'm just gonna go to my main playlist here and see if I can. Yeah, so I couldn't, like, I'm terrible with song names, but here's a couple songs that I'm gonna move my camera up real quick because I don't know if you guys could see, but here's 3 songs that I have on my main rap playlist that I really like. Free Mr. Banks is fire. The intro to that song is so good. Almost Back's good. Capital Denim with Future is also another really good one. I think I have a couple others in my slower rap song playlist, like RIP, but I'm not going to get into it. We're just going to jump into the next artist. But again, I do think Lucky is a very good artist, and I think he does deserve a little bit more appreciation. Now, this artist is somebody that I personally really, really enjoy. Actually, I'm going to move my camera over to the other side. We're just going to do that, rock with that, so that you guys can see a little bit better. But this is another artist that I personally really, really enjoy. Coach Ice. I think this dude is super underrated, and he's kind of similar to Sofego, not really. I think a big difference, and the reason why I have him at my top 5 most underrated rappers, is the fact that he does consistently put out music. He was another one of those artists that was kind of big in like the 2020, 2021 era, but I mean, he has 3 million monthly listeners, so it's not like he doesn't have a following. It's actually a lot more than I thought he was, but yeah, I mean, Tell Him's a good song. Pocket Rocket is fire. There's a bunch of other songs too. He has a bunch of, like, yeah, he has a bunch of albums. The Inspection, an album that I really, really enjoyed. Yeah, Pocket Rocket's a good song. I'm trying to think of like one of the good, let's go on here. What was one of the songs? Okay, so none of them saved, but Turn It Up's a good song. Grind is a really good song. You guys have probably heard those two on TikTok at some point. There was another one on here. Maybe not. Maybe it was a different album. Maybe it was this one. Whatever. Supervillain. Another really good song I like from him. Redhead. Just found that one more recent. I would definitely highly recommend checking him out. He has a different voice than a bunch of the other artists. I think it's something different, something new, and I think the beats that he raps over again are really, really, really good. Now, this next artist is one of my personal favorites. Shout out to my friend for putting me onto him. It took me a couple years to get into him because at the time I wasn't really into that type of music, but he's a guy that is, I think, the staple of underrated. DC the Don. This dude has some of the best versatility that I've ever seen in an artist. I mean, he has some really good songs, and actually one of my favorite songs from him is Holy Matrimony. Get Naked's a really good song. So What, another really good song. He consistently posts music as well. My friend actually went to go see his concert, which was really cool. I wish I could have gone to that. But he has a lot of good singles, a lot of good albums. Rebirth was really good. Funeral was really good. My Own Worst Enemy was really good. Come As You Are, another really good album. I would definitely recommend checking him out. He gives a different vibe, but he also does a bunch of different things. He does, like, you know, traditional trap. He has slower rap songs as well. Yeah, I would definitely recommend checking him out. Now, coming in at our #1 spot for the most underrated rapper, we have Midwest. Midwest is incredible, and he just slightly takes the cake over DC the Don. They're both very similar artists in the respect that very similar versatility, and they're both on a couple songs together. Midwest has a song like 223s with Babytron is really good. Lock It Up was also really good. I Know You Hate Me is amazing. He has a bunch of good albums. One of the only reasons that I'm putting him over DC the Don is I just think that it's just a slight edge on what I personally listen to. I think Midwest is one of those artists that he has very good versatility. You know, he's got slower songs. He even has an EDM song, which I think is crazy, which is actually surprisingly good. I do think he could drop a couple more albums, but, you know, time will tell. Looking down here, you know, he had one in 2023, 2024. He just dropped another one as well. I actually want to go back through these and listen to all these. I don't think I have, but anyways, guys, that's enough of me talking. If you guys enjoyed the video, again, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let me know what you guys thought about this. Do you know any of these artists? If you do, what's your favorite song from them? Who else did I miss? And who would you put on this list for the most underappreciated rappers? Let's try to, you know, grow it a little bit. Let's see if we can bring a little bit more popularity to these guys. They deserve it. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.